Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about the two things that I am really tired of hearing when it comes to the recruiting process, so stay tuned. Okay, thank you guys for joining us for another YouTube video. Please, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button so that we can keep pushing out content to you guys each week. We really appreciate all the feedback, all the comments, and you guys watching these videos each week. Hopefully it is beneficial. Hopefully it is helpful to you and your recruiting process. So today I want to talk about two things that I keep hearing throughout the recruiting process that I'm tired of hearing at this point. I don't know. I don't have a ton of control over it, obviously. The first one, and I've talked about this one before a little bit in the past, but this one is she can play Division I, or my club coach told me that I can go D1, or my best friend's uncle's cousin said that I can play Division I volleyball. And that's great. It is great that you have the perception or potentially the ability to play Division I volleyball. But unfortunately, I don't know what that actually means from the different people. Okay. So Division I, and again, it's not a slight to you, right? It's obviously it's a compliment to an athlete they think very highly of. So there's nothing wrong with saying it. But my frustration with it is it doesn't come with any substance. And as I've talked about before, Division I is a spectrum. We have the number one school in the country, and then we have number 340 in the country. And there is a Grand Canyon of difference between the number one school and the number 340. There's a difference between the number one school in the country and the 150th school in the country. So it's a massive spectrum. So when someone says, hey, you can play Division I, or I think you can play Division I, or you're good enough to go D1, where on that spectrum do you fit? And I think, unfortunately, there's a lot of athletes that when they hear that, they go to top 25 Division I programs, Baylor, Nebraska, Creighton, Penn State, right? They go, oh, Division I. Not all Division I schools are the same. They're not all created equal, not in really any way, shape, or form. We've got different conferences, different levels, different metrics that these Division I conferences are even really looking for. Besides being labeled Division I, there's not a whole lot of consistency as far as conference to conference. And so you have this kind of spectrum throughout all of Division I volleyball, to where saying that someone is good enough to play Division I is a compliment and it's good, but where do you fit? And so if someone says that, your response as a family, as an athlete, to your club coach or high school coach that tells you that, the next question should be where? It should be where at Division I can I play volleyball? At what school would I be a good fit? The other thing to mention here is that I've talked about this before on my PRI Talk podcast, which I know that you don't know exists, but it does. I talked to college coaches across the country, Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA. And you would be probably surprised to hear that all of those college coaches at every single level, Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, all of those college coaches will tell me that they recruit quote unquote Division I athletes. What does being a Division I athlete really mean? What does it mean to be able to play Division I? So that comment in and of itself doesn't have enough meat to it for me. And we need to dive into that a little bit more and actually figure out what that means. The other thing to consider, and this is a breakdown that I do, especially with setters and liberos, because statistics and things like that are really important. But one thing that I talk about is, okay, even if you're good enough to play at a Division I program, it's almost irrelevant, because how many roster spots are even available at these Division I schools? How many of these Division I schools where there is a roster spot available in your position are you actually interested in? So just because you can play Division I doesn't mean that's necessarily going to be the best fit for you. And so it's important to remember as you go through this process, we're trying to find the best fit. There are Division II programs that you would be surprised are probably better funded than some Division I schools. Maybe not in scholarships, maybe travel is a little bit different because Division II typically is more regional and things like that. Supported from the administration, get more fans in the stands, which is a big deal. No one likes to play in front of 25 people on a regular basis. Division I is this big, all-encompassing, massive cloud of different schools, locations, budgets, scholarship amounts, level of play, metrics, right? All these different things. Phrase number 2 that I am a little bit tired of hearing already this club season, I've heard it a couple times from some various things is, and this is a little bit situational, okay? But when an athlete comes to club coach, high school coach, club director, whoever, and says, hey, I'm really excited, I got an offer. Hey, I'm really excited, I'm going on this visit to this school. And the response is, and the response is what I don't like and what I'm tired of hearing about. When the response is, oh no, that's not a school that you want to go to. Oh no, that's not a school that you need to be interested in. Oh no, you can find a better program. Oh no, you can go somewhere that's a better school, bigger school. No, that's somewhere you need to get more scholarship than what you're getting. So that reaction to a 16, 17-year-old kid, I feel like is really unfair. I don't know why. Set aside that this is similar to the you can play Division I because it's, oh no, you can play at a bigger program. Okay, which bigger program? Oh no, you should wait for a better offer and more scholarship money. Okay, from where? Like that should be the next question. But leaving that aside, why are we squashing athletes? Why are we telling them that they shouldn't be excited about the things that they're excited about? I don't understand, as coaches and directors, people that are around athletes all the time, and they come to us and they're really excited about something and we go, don't be excited about that. I don't know why we think that's okay and why we think that's helpful or beneficial, because it's really not. I don't, in each of the situations that I'm talking about that have happened in the last couple months, I don't know how those comments or those statements and that sort of under the table, passive aggressive, I don't know why that we feel like that's beneficial, because it's just not. If athletes are excited, we should be excited for them. If a family is excited about an offer or a visit, we should be excited for them. We shouldn't try to tap down on what these athletes are trying to accomplish, because everyone's trying to play college volleyball. There's not a roster spot at every program for every athlete. There isn't. Space is limited. There's a no vacancy sign up on the hotel, right? There's not a lot of room. We're talking about 1.2% of high school athletes playing Division I, 3.9% of high school athletes playing college ball, Division I, II, and Division III. There's not a ton of room. So if you get in at a spot that you are excited about for any reason, scholarship, location, size of school, like if it fits at all and you're pumped about it, then we as the people that surround athletes on a daily basis, on a regular basis, consistently, we should be excited for them, because just going through the process is hard enough. We don't need circumstances to then get more difficult, or for athletes who have gone through a lot to get just to, I have a visit and I'm really excited about it, and they've gone through a lot to get there, to squash that down and make that athlete feel like that they have to start over and they have to start from scratch and they've done all this work. It's super defeating. And so my encouragement to families, parents, club coaches, high school coaches, don't squash athletes when it comes to them being excited about their opportunities, because it is really hard just to get to that point. It's really hard to get on a visit. It's really hard to get on the phone with a college coach. You should take the opportunities that you have and pursue them. And then if you decide you don't like them as an athlete, then great. No one's requiring you to get on the phone with every college coach or to take every single offer that you get. No one's requiring that, but you should definitely experience it 100% and then see if you like it. But we certainly don't need to squash athletes and to hurt their momentum or kill the momentum. I talk to a lot of athletes that are there. They struggle. It's hard. It is not an easy process for everyone after struggle and to finally get an offer and to finally get a visit. And for someone to say, no, it's not good enough. I don't know how that's helpful. Those are the two things that I am tired of hearing about at this point in the club season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and I will see you out at the next qualifier.